Okay, I have news. I know some scientists who are high-fiving each other, they're slapping each other on the back now. And it's not because of a discovery, but rather because of a scientific proof. It has been proven now, beyond a doubt, that human transcendence, that is consciousness, is a field. Previously, consciousness has been thought to be a phenomenon only inside the head, only as a result of brain activity and nothing out there. But now it has been repeatedly and reliably proven to be a field. And imagine, just like the electromagnetic field, this field of consciousness can be exploited and put to use in a grand, beautiful way, much as the electromagnetic field has been put to use for our civilization since 150 years ago when James Clerk Maxwell described it for the first time. And because this is a human field, the field of consciousness, the results of its enlivenment can be measured in human terms, like when they enliven this field with groups of people practicing it together, what happens is you'll see measurements of war deaths going down, accident rates going down, fewer hospital admissions, and increased creativity and cooperation. So to create this effect, they need people who are transcending. And it's just not good enough to have a group of well-intentioned people who are thinking good thoughts. You really need people transcending. So when the scientists want to create this effect, they look for people in the Transcendental Meditation Organization, people who are practicing the more advanced technique called TM-Sidhis, which includes yogic flying. And in order to create this effect, which is really a collective consciousness effect, they need groups doing it. And the groups that they assemble in what's called a flying hall. And I think you may not have ever heard that term before, but you should get used to it. A flying hall is a wonderful thing. There's a few of them around the world. However, when these groups do assemble, the results that I have been talking about are evident every time. It's been scientifically validated over 30 times. So like any amazing and remarkable modern technology, advanced technology, this technology is a little bit disruptive. Why don't we look at, for example, how it might disrupt the CERN? Okay, let's begin by comparing the LHC at the CERN in Geneva, Switzerland with Flying Hall. And in this case, we'll use the Flying Hall in Fairfield, Iowa at Maharishi International University. They call that Flying Hall the Golden Dome. It's one of the biggest. And basically the LHC is 8.5 kilometers in diameter, the particle accelerator. And the Flying Hall in Fairfield is about 80 meters in diameter. The LHC cost, well, I have to fill that in, but it was about 350 to 400 million per year to operate the LHC. The Flying Hall, probably around $100,000 a year to operate. It's already been built and it's being used every day ever since then. E, that's for expectation. Funnily, the expectation of both of these is the same. Here it is, to be the most amazing and useful, cutting edge and advanced technology the world has ever seen. And what's the results? Well, the LHC has discovered the Higgs boson. That was news about 5 years ago, and for those of us who are not physicists, the news excited us for maybe a month and then not so much. Sorry. Another result, they figured out the standard model, and the Higgs boson fit nicely into that standard model of quantum physics. And the other result, basically, the only one I've seen, is that they've created a mildly interesting tourist attraction for those tourists who go to Geneva, Switzerland. Over here at the Flying Hall, since 1990, every time that the groups have gotten together and performed the yogic flying and TM-Sidhis and TM program together in a group, every time that the results have been measured, which has been about 30 different times or more, every time they measured the results, it's been the same. Crime going down, accident rate going down, other social indicators of stress going down, which has basically saved social and public services billions of dollars. And let's see, manpower. Oh no, equipment needed. At the LHC they need S for superconductors. They need superconducting magnets, they need lasers, they need proton beams and other things that I probably don't know about. Flying hall, you need foam mattresses, sheets to cover the foam, a rack to put your shoes on when you go in, and a fan in the summer. Continuing on here, manpower. At the LHC, the physicists that work there probably have 10 to 15 years of postgraduate studies to get at the high level of physics where they are operating at. And it's probably 30 to 50 physicists and then more engineers to run the whole thing. Over at the Golden Dome, you need between 100 and 1,000, depending on the study that's going on or the groups, doing TM-Sidhi's program and yogic flying. And yogic flying, the yogic flyers, they're not anything special or geniuses. They've just TM meditators who have taken the time to take the 6-month course or 3 to 6 month course of learning the TM-Sidhi's program part-time and to practice it at home and get comfortable with it. And after about 6 or 8 months, they're working together in groups. It's happening. They're creating this effect. I'm a yogic flyer, and I'm not that special, but I am a yogic flyer. So results. Let's get to the results. I only gave 1 exclamation point to the LHC because come on, guys, you haven't even proven anything about what do you call it? The dark matter or dark energy. And over here, results. Let me just read for you. Just recently, maybe a month and a half ago, a study was recently published. It was a 17-year study published in the World Journal of Social Science showing that the group practice of the TM program and yoga flying reduced major US stress indicators in a significant way. This was published in Eureka Alert, which is a news service for the American Association for the Advancement of Science. It was republished in the New York Post and other locations, and it showed that these indicators of stress in the United States saved billions of dollars. And when we say stress indicators for the nation, we're talking about, in detail here, things like murder, things that you can measure: murder, assault, auto theft, traffic accidents, suicides, divorce, beer and cigarette consumption. That could be a stress indicator if it's measured. Employment goes up and down. Sometimes they have the data for the CO2 and ozone levels, which have, when we measure it, it goes down during the group practice of this program, which is basically a phenomenon of collective consciousness. Suicide hotline calls always go down whenever our groups are doing it in a big way. So that's stress. That's worth at least 1 more or probably 2 more exclamation points, because we're talking about useful and amazing. I don't think you can get any more amazing than that. So I really thank you for staying all the way to the end of this video. And you may have noticed that I enjoyed a little too much poking fun at the Large Hadron Collider. Maybe I'm just a little bit jealous at the amount of money they get to spend. But flying halls, you'll hear more about them in the future. And really, it's not a new technology. It's based actually on a 4,000-year-old body of knowledge called Vedic science. But the way it is presented now is new. The consciousness nerds, I mean the consciousness advisors, have put it together in a teachable and applicable form that can be used today by many people. And really, the links I've added down below in the description, you'll have a lot of fun looking through those.
What is at stake here is more than any of you can possibly imagine.